Good morning, everybody. How are y'all feeling this morning? Welcome to Gateway to Counseling, the ASKTERRY show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We come live to you here Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 8:15, thereabout, until 8:30. You guys are allowed to ask any questions that you may have, and then I will answer them, right? You can send them to me any kind of way you want to. I will not use your name, okay? So this person is asking about, I'm guessing that they're experiencing a lot of stress, right? As they're trying to have a child. Okay, so let's get into this. I work with a number of individuals who have gone through this, whether it's the woman coming or the male coming or both coming together to seek counseling. Sometimes, guys, this is after they've already had 1 or 2 or 3 miscarriages. I don't know of anyone who is trying to have a child and haven't already had at least 1 miscarriage. I could be wrong, and you guys correct me, but that's what I see most often. That they've tried and tried. Maybe they've succeeded once and the pregnancy only lasted 6 weeks. Less than 2 months, typically. Most don't get out of their first trimester. I think it's really, I don't think, I know. It's really devastating when you want so badly to express your love to each other through the form of another child, right? Of another human being. That you want to bring a child into this world and love them and care for them and provide for them. Wow, what a very selfless act, right? I mean, that's the way I see when you are very conscious of wanting to bring a child into this world. And a lot of times what I see happening is that the person has gotten pregnant. They find out within, a couple of weeks of conceiving, and they're really excited about it, right? And they pick up the phone and, they're sharing the news with their mom, their parents, their best friends. They might even post it on Facebook, hey, we're pregnant, we're so excited. And 6 weeks in, 2 months in, you have a miscarriage. And it just blows your world, doesn't it? It's very, very difficult because here you are so excited, sharing it with everybody. And now, not only do you have to deal with the grief that you've lost this child and you don't know why, you don't know what's going on, but you also now have to share that grief with everyone around you, right? And I've known people, they go through it the first time, the second time they don't tell anybody because they want to get through. And then they maybe have a second miscarriage. And then they really start to speak with their doctors about what exactly is going on with their bodies. What's going on with the male sperm, what's going on with the female egg, what's going on with the female internal organs that's making it difficult to carry the child. So we already know now that we can conceive, but why can't we carry? And that can become very difficult and very painful because you start to feel like you're less than. Maybe you don't feel this way, but people that I talk to express that to me, that they feel less than, like, what's wrong with me? What's going on with me that I can't conceive a child, that I can't have a child? I've known people to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars trying to conceive. Excuse me. I'm thinking of one couple right now who, they went through, they did all the different tests, and they made sure that they had a clean bill of health and everything was fine so that they can conceive, and they still had problems. And so then they went through all the, the procedures and making sure that they were fertile and, regulating their body temperatures and, oh, this is the optimal time. And we've all seen the movies, right? And that's real life. That's what's happening, and you tilt this way and you do this and you do that. And you're doing all the things that the doctor tells you. And you're thinking, okay, we have a third person on our team and we're going to conceive now, right? We're doing everything the doctor tells us and we're going to conceive. And it becomes really stressful on your body. I mean, it just does. It becomes stressful on your mind, your body, your psychic. It becomes stressful on your relationship because now you're just focused on having this child, right? And guys, I did not turn on my timer this morning. So I'm going to have to turn every now and then and look at the time on the computer. So it just becomes a very stressful time of we're trying to have a child, and everything becomes focused on we're trying to have a child. And when you still can't conceive and you can't have a child, then you might go to another extreme where you take the egg and take the sperm and take it out of you, and you do all these little things medically, right? And then you try to implant then, and you could try to see if maybe you can go that way. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. You can spend $50,000 easy trying to conceive this way. This particular couple that I'm thinking of, they had the money. They had money to begin the process. They didn't know it was going to take that long. They didn't know it was going to become that expensive. They didn't know that this would be a year or more later down the road that they are still spending money and still trying to conceive. But they really believed in what they were doing, and they believed in their doctors. And so, they took out lines of credit and they did home equity loans and they did all these things because they believed in wanting to form another life. And I can tell you that sometimes I think you should try within reason. I think that you shouldn't have to take out a line of credit or max out your credit cards to do this, because I don't know if that's aligned with God. I don't know. Like, to me, bringing life into this world is a spiritual experience, right? It's not just a physical and mental experience. It's a spiritual experience, right? And I believe that if it is spiritual, then God has to be a part of the equation because he creates life. And if he wants to create life within you, then he's going to do that. And sometimes it means that maybe he's not going to do it. Maybe it means he has an alternative plan. I've worked with so many couples who go out and adopt. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And if you're able to adopt when they're really young, when they're infants just getting out of the hospital, I don't know what happens, but that baby takes on your personality, of course. They take on your physical characteristics. Wow, it's just so amazing. And then we do have people who adopt children later on in life, 7, 8 years old. You guys know that I do a lot of work. I had my foundation in the CPS system. Even before I was an actual therapist with the state, I was working with CPS children. And, it's beautiful when we have families who want to adopt someone who's maybe even 14 years old. I worked with some siblings who were adopted from a family. They were here in Texas. They were actually adopted by a family in Miami. This family flew back and forth because they were Dallas Cowboy fans. And so, the children were really scared about being adopted because their whole life was going to change. And they were going to be leaving their biological family here in the Houston area as well. But they went through with it. We prepared them. We got them ready. We did a whole bunch of things to get them ready. And it's been so beautiful. And I keep in touch with them just a little bit. And they're just having a wonderful life. They're surrounded by people who really love them, right? And I believe that sometimes, let's think about it this way. We have people in this world who shouldn't be having children. And I know those people too. Maybe they have lots of limitations, mental limitations, cognitive limitations. They can produce a child, but they can't really raise a child. And yet the courts allow them to continue to produce, right? I've known situations where CPS has taken 2 children away. Mom and dad go out and conceive again. So they take the 3rd child. Mom and dad go out and conceive a 4th time. CPS takes the 4th child. I don't agree with that situation, that those individuals should be allowed to have multiple children when they cognitively cannot take care of them, when they are addicted to drugs and nothing has changed, right? And I know what you're saying, Terry, it's their body. They should be able to do whatever they want to do. Yes, but bringing a person into this world is a whole different situation. So what I'm saying, guys, is maybe you're meant to adopt. Maybe you're meant to go and help that child who was born to a family who can't provide for them emotionally, physically, financially. They can't keep a roof over their heads. Maybe you're meant to adopt one of those children. And I'm not saying adoption is easy. It can be very difficult and it can be expensive. But I do believe that there's a reason why some people can't have children and some people can, who can't take care of them. And maybe there's meant to be this partnership, right? Where you come together and you support and love and provide for this child. So I want you to consider that. The stress. Let me see. All right, so we just have a few more minutes. How to handle the stress. Go out and relax. Go out and enjoy each other without the we gotta make a baby type mode. Give your body a break. Say, I've just had 2 miscarriages in the last year. We're not gonna try anymore. We're just gonna relax and enjoy each other and go and do something fun. We're gonna get a dog. I know what you're saying, Terry, please. No, do that, Go and volunteer. Become a big brother, a big sister. Please do those things. Join Junior Achievement. That's on my list for today. And learn to give back to children. How can you volunteer at a shelter and give back to those children who have no one? How can you do that? How can you financially begin to support? And if you decide you want to adopt, where do you want to adopt? Do you want to adopt here in the States? Or do you want to adopt somewhere else? And I know it can be difficult adopting here in the States. That's why I'm saying maybe you want to go somewhere else and adopt, right? And I've known people to do that as well. And it turned out just wonderful. So I don't see too many situations where you're going to lose adopting an infant. I can see where it can become pragmatic when you adopt an adolescent. And so you have to be very careful. If you guys need any help with this, please let me know. I am Terry. We have multiple therapists, guys, on our team. Multiple therapists on our team. And we are hiring. By the way, we are hiring. So if you know anyone who is an LPC, LCSW, LMFT, please have them to reach out to me because we're hiring. Thank you, guys. I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.